Walk into a modern software firm today, and you'll find teams gathered around vibrant whiteboards, communicating and adjusting on the fly to push code faster. Down the street in a corporate high-rise, executives are presenting strict budgets and non-negotiable delivery dates to anxious stakeholders. Both of these environments rely on highly paid leadership roles that completely dominate the correct job boards, offering premier entry points into corporate management. This comparison table shows the baseline expectations. On the left, Scrum Masters in the US typically pull in between $95,000 and $111,000 right out of the gate. On the right, project managers see nearly the exact same range, earning $92,000 to $117,000. We see the exact parity in the Indian market, where mid-level talent for both roles rapidly crosses the 20 to 30 lakhs per annum threshold. Because these numbers match almost perfectly, thousands of professionals blindly chase either title, assuming the jobs are the same. Recruiters might use the titles interchangeably, but the operational realities and leadership styles required to survive in them are total opposites. We are going to break down the exact barriers to entry, weigh the specific trade-offs, and map which path actually fits your personal career DNA. Because optimizing for a high starting salary without understanding the daily reality of the work guarantees a fast track to burnout. This split-screen graphic defines the core operational difference. On the left, the project manager is the traditional captain of the ship. As captain, you take absolute uncompromising ownership of the project's timeline, the financial budget, and the client's risk. You have the ultimate authority to dictate direction and build out the structured executive plans. But with that authority comes total exposure. If a deadline slips or a budget bleeds, you shoulder 100% of the executive blame. On the right, the Scrum Master operates as an agile servant leader, or essentially the team coach. Your entire focus is on team health. You facilitate daily communication and aggressively clear out operational roadblocks so the developers can actually build. You generate a highly collaborative environment, and you do it entirely without the immense stress of handling direct financial client contracts. However, you lack direct boss authority. Your success relies entirely on your psychological influence to guide the team, rather than giving executive mandates. To summarize, the project manager manages what is being built and when it gets delivered. The Scrum Master optimizes how the team works together to build it. Your day-to-day workplace happiness hinges entirely on whether you prefer managing concrete, rigid deliverables or navigating fluid human psychology. To get hired into either role, certifications act as the mandatory gateway. This quadrant matrix maps the effort required to certify against starting salary. We will start with the Certified Scrum Master, or CSM, sitting securely in the high-salary, low-effort quadrant. The friction to get a CSM is remarkably low. You take a 2-day course, pass a straightforward exam, and you are officially certified. Because it is so accessible, the entry-level market is heavily crowded. To stand out, you have to aggressively prove your coaching value during the interview process. Compare that to the Project Management Professional, or PMP designation, sitting in the high-salary, high-effort quadrant. This credential demands a massive upfront investment. You have to prove 3 to 5 years of real project leadership experience before you are even legally permitted to apply. Even then, passing the PMP exam requires months of rigorous, highly structured studying that far exceeds the baseline difficulty of the CSM. The CSM serves as a high-speed shortcut into a competitive space, while the PMP acts as a long-term investment that grants immediate global credibility. Once you have the job, these roles scale very differently over time. Early on, Scrum Masters often command a higher entry-level premium. This line graph tracking earning potential explains why. Scrum Masters operate almost exclusively in the tech sector, an industry that gladly pays a premium for speed and agility, giving them an early financial lead. As you move up, you can take on specialized senior titles like the release train engineer, but your upward mobility is largely capped within software development and IT departments. Project managers possess a massive long-term superpower, universal cross-industry versatility. They are desperately needed in healthcare, aviation, finance, and construction. Because they manage massive, global, multi-million-dollar budgets across these diverse sectors, a senior project manager ultimately out-earns a standard Scrum Master. They also have a clearer path up the traditional executive ladder, moving steadily into program manager, director, and VP roles. Scrum Masters win the early career sprint within tech, but project managers win the long-term executive marathon across the entire global economy. When making your final transition decision, throw out the entry-level salary data completely. This decision tree boils it down to one primary driver. Do you prefer managing structural deliverables and budgets, or navigating human psychology and collaboration? If you excel at conflict resolution and thrive in fluid, fast-moving collaborative environments, follow the path on the left to Scrum Master. It is the perfect fit for individuals who want to focus their energy on motivating people rather than updating spreadsheets. If you are highly detail-oriented and comfortable bearing the heavy weight of financial accountability, head to the right for Project Manager. This path is for those who desire a highly versatile, structured climb up the traditional corporate ladder. Choosing the correct path aligns your daily reality with your natural risk tolerance. Getting this wrong turns a lucrative opportunity into a miserable mistake. Drop a comment below with your current industry background, and we will help you figure out which transition makes the most sense for you. Hit that subscribe button to keep building your career blueprint with us, and I'll see you in the next breakdown.